Hello, all my OAS dolphins. How are you guys today? Mrs. Scullion here. I wanted to share with you a little factors and multiples game that I found that I thought you might like. So, just a little review. What's a factor? What's a multiple? So, if we look here, I have this multiplication sentence 3 times 4 equals 12. The factors are 3 and 4, and the multiple is 12. It's important to know this relationship between these numbers, factors and multiples, because it really comes into play when you do higher level math. This relationship of 3, 4, and 12. 12 is a multiple of 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are factors of 12. So what's that higher level math that I'm talking about? Well, if we look over here and I want to add these two fractions together, 1/3 plus 1/4. Well, I could see that they have different denominators. I can't add those together right now because they're different size pieces. When I put them together, what would I call them? So we have to make them have the same size piece, and we do this by making equivalent fractions. Let me see, 3 and 4. What multiple do they have in common? Oh yeah, they have 12. So let's see, I could take my thirds and I could cut them into 4 pieces, and I get 4/12. Well, I could take my fourths and I could cut them into 3 pieces, and I get 3/12. Now I can add them together. 4/12 plus 3/12 equals 7/12. And I've just used my knowledge of factors and multiples to make those equivalent fractions and then add them together. So to practice factors and multiples, I found this cool game for you. It's called the Factors and Multiples Chain. So what you do here is you have to make the longest chain possible by taking these numbers here and you drag them over to the other side. So I'm just going to start easy, and I'm just going to start with the number 2. And I'm going to grab the number 2 and I'm going to drag it over here. So now I have to think to myself, well, what's a factor of 2 or what's a multiple of 2? And I'm going to attach it to that 2 to start to make my factor and multiple chain. Well, again, I'm going to start off simple. So I'm going to drag over a 4. I'm going to attach them. And see how they turned green and they're in these black brackets? That means my chain right now is a 2. Well, let's see. Now I have to attach another number here to this 2. The other number that I attach has got to be either a factor of 2 or a multiple of 2. So I'm going to go with another multiple of 2. I'm going to go with 6. There we go. And I can change the order of them. Now my chain is 3. Watch what happens now, though, if I put a number there that's not a multiple or a factor of 6. Let's see what happens if I take the number 20. 20 is not a multiple of 6, and it's not a factor of 6. So you can see here that it's still blue. That means it's not part of the chain. So you know what? I'm going to move this. I'm going to put it right here. Now it's part of my chain because 20 is a multiple of 4. They're attached. I could actually even put this 20 right here. I could put it in between the 4 and the 2 because 2 is a factor of 20 and 4 is a factor of 20. So the object of the game here is to get the longest chain you possibly can. So right now my chain is 4. You can also play against someone else by just dragging the number, and like I'm going to put the 3 down here. So if this is like my brother or sister that I'm playing with, or my mom or dad, so like player 2 could pull a number down here and then pull another number there. And now we have 2 chains going because they're both in these black brackets here. So, but still my longest chain is 4 so far. So have fun playing the game, boys and girls. I would love it if you would take maybe a screenshot or a picture of your longest chain and post it in your math class stream. And let's see who can get the longest chain. So far, the longest one I've done is 34. So let's see if you can beat me. Look forward to seeing it.